I should probably deliver her the terrible news before I interrogate the servant as well. Let me go break the news to her that she's a widow, and then I'm going to interrogate the hell out of them. Madcap Motorist. Now, if I keep playing, my fingers will get all... That's alright, Gretchen. You played very beautifully today. I gotta read fast. And besides, my lodger will probably be coming home soon. And pass the time with his stories. I wonder what adventures did the inspector experience today? The report of his investigations is always so captivating. Gretchen, you are not secretly listening at the door, are you? Damn it, Gretchen. That's not really proper for a housemaid. I didn't mean to. I beg your pardon, Miss Faber. I'm only joking. If you want to listen to the stories, you're welcome to leave the door open. During the summer, the drought is always welcome. Hello? It's going so fast. And if I'm not mistaken, I just heard the inspector's keys in the lock. Oh. Good evening, Miss Faber. Faber? It's German. I feel like it's Faber, not Faber. My investigations led me through... But at least the hard work paid off. Does that mean there is now one less criminal roaming the streets of Leipzig? You don't really care to give breaks to a worn-out inspector, do you? However, the storytelling should pass the time until dinner. Probably best if I started right now. That way, I might even finish before the food reaches the table. It all started this morning in my office in the police station. I stood by the window and looked out the colorful hustle and bustle of... I'm not gonna try. I had lost myself in my own thoughts and had to make an effort to get back to work. Leipzig, summer 1899. Faber? Faber. I'm trying to think of how it's said. It's not Faber. I should really be getting back to work. I need a speed reading strip. Oh my gosh, you guys know I already have a hard time reading. I can't read that fast. Okay. Controls. Left click to move to the clicked location, left or right click to examine an object, left click to interact. So you point and then you click. Somebody seems to be at the door. So it does seem. I locked the door so that I could work undisturbed. I need the key to open the door. You locked the door from the inside. Okay. Where's your key? Is that a lantern? The helmet from my time as a patrolman. I don't really like to think back on it. I never had the money for proper shoes back then. And I always felt the cobblestones through my soles. I can still tell which street I am on just by looking at the pavement. My houseplant, it could... the knocking, oh my gosh. My houseplant, it could do with a little water, guilty as charged. You just admitted to killing your plant. It could do with some water. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything about it, but... The key is not here. Wherever could it be? Purple Clouds, how are you? This is cute. Art style reminds me of the Beekeeper's Picnic. The developer who sent this over for us to try brought up the Beekeeper's Picnic and said it was like the similar... If we liked that one, we would like this one, so... I'm excited. Detective Kreiser writes down all observations in his notebook. Scroll down or press N to access it. Click on 2 observations, one after the other, to combine them and unlock new actions. Investigate the office to find clues. Okay. Quirky detectives love locking the door from the inside. I keep the files on my cases in this cabinet, sorted by last name. It's actually not too shabby a system, with only one shortcoming. There is no room for Z. Oh, Z's just sitting there on the floor. Can I look at Z? Drawer labeled Z does not fit in the cabinet. Devastating. Oh my gosh, I was like, is there a way for me to see what I can click on? I'm overwhelmed already by looking at how much I can look at. Okay. Yes, we've looked at all of these. Let's go over here. A somewhat kitschy landscape. The mountains radiate a peculiar calm. As befits a civil servant, the Emperor adorns the walls of my office. The certificate commemorating my appointment as a detective. It makes me proud whenever I see it. Oh, you should be proud. Most recently, I worked on the case of Roswitha Rosenlocher. Locher? Oh my gosh, I didn't take German, guys. You're gonna have to help me out. I took the documents out of my filing cabinet. What did you say? Just this morning. The windows? The window is closed and the shutters are in place. Through the open window, I can see the colorful hustle and bustle of okay, it's what I couldn't read before. Wasterstra? I don't never know how do you pronounce the one that looks like a bee? We may have umlauts in our language. We have many umlauts in our language, unfortunately. Like, I did not choose to take German in high school. I took French, so I'm gonna need some hand holding. The B is just an S. It's a double S. So how do you say this? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be butchering it all, but Wasterstrasse, double S. We call it a sharp S for some reason. Okay. So then we look here for... I keep the files on my cases in the cabinet sorted by last name. It's actually not too shabby. Is that not what we were looking for? Roswitha Rosenlocher? So can I go to R? Maybe the key is in one of the drawers. Now you're thinking. But I can hardly search through them all. Maybe I should combine my observations in the notebook. Oh. The filing cabinet is sorted alphabetically. I worked on the Rosenlocher case. Brain. A thought. I may have put the key in place of the Roswitha Rosenlocher files this morning. So oh, it looked like I clicked his butt. I didn't. I just clicked the drawer. I did not click his butt. I know the allegations are gonna come, but I was not purposefully clicking a butt. There's the drawer, you see? Here we go. The key.
That goes in the butt bank.
Whoever was at the door stopped knocking. I bet they left. If someone was knocking at my door and I took like 20 minutes to find the key to unlock the door, I would hope they left. Scroll up or press I to bring up the inventory. Click on the item in the inventory to activate it. You can use items in the inventory or in the game world. Scroll up. Ah, key on the door. Patrolman Velm, probably. I need the German voice acting because I'm just gonna butcher it with my horrible American. Left click to start a dialogue with a person, right click to examine a person. Okay, examine. Patrolman Velm, a good man who has what it takes to be more. What? He seems to want to tell me something. Do you want to? I mean, he clearly does if he stood outside the door for the entire time it took me to search for that key. Very patient person behind the door. Good morning, Inspector. Another one? What have we got this time? Sorry, I wish there was a way for me to click through dialogue instead of it speeding through. Suicide? Am I supposed to pick up the body of a woman who committed suicide again? No, it's probably not suicide this time around. Burglary? Is it a burglary at a grocery store? While your case is also exotic and luxurious, it doesn't involve the colonies. Fraud? Am I supposed to catch a fraudster who has defrauded furriers? You couldn't be more wrong. Who would think of doing something like that? You would be surprised at the illustrious company that you find yourself with. Okay, maybe escaped lions? Have the lions escaped from the zoo? Speed and danger indeed have something to do with it, minus the wildlife. You know what, Inspector? Just tell me what the case is. T-Jump, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. What if you just closed the door without talking to him? Honestly, I think the door, like, disappeared off the hinges. We have to, we're not impolite. I give up. Tell me, what is it? Certainly, one of those new motorized vehicles drove into the water at the Plogwitz, and why would a traffic accident need it? Because apparently foul play took place and the driver is now dead. You go on ahead and secure us a carriage. Are these jokes I'm not getting? I'm wondering if it's me too. I mean, honestly, I'm a little bit groggy today, and I don't know if it's because I'm having to read and process really fast, or if I'm not getting the joke. Does the tech just move that fast? It does. There is voice acting. It's all in German, so we turned the voice acting off, and I'm just reading it, but the text goes really fast, so I'm just trying to keep up. There's no pause button. Alright, the map. Click on the exit to call up the map. Inspector Kreiser can use it to travel to new places. To do so, simply click on the pin. Your game will be saved automatically when you enter a new location. Okay. Police station. Koneritz Bridge. Those are our two stops. So, let's go to the bridge. Speed reading is an unfair challenge. It's quick. I hope they have. Oh, I'm sorry. Plugwitz, where you can never see the sky, not even on sunny days due to all the smoke. But see, that one's lingering up there. Like okay. Who do we have here? Like sometimes it goes slow, sometimes it goes fast. Gustav Mobius, what brings a prosecutor to the scene of a traffic accident? My dear friend, this is by no means an ordinary accident. Because this is the first dead body we've had to recover from a motor vehicle? Right, and since there have some accidents like this lately, I'm required to conduct an assessment. Assessment? What about exactly? Whether the city would need an ordinance in regulating automobile traffic. But to be honest, I'm having doubts as to whether this was an accident. What makes you think that? Oh no, my dear Inspector, you will have to find that out for yourself. Secrets are no fun, come on. But I am, of course, at your disposal, should you need help. Okay. Car just hanging out, that car is vibing, blowing around in the wind. The timing is probably how long it takes for the voice actor to say it in German. Yes, it is. Because it's fully voice acted, but I guess they speak really fast. Or it takes fewer words to say it in German. If you can't find some objects or feel stuck, you can ask Gustav Mobius to mark them. You can also press and hold the left mouse button on Mobius to quickly display all hotspots. Enough chit-chat. I have witnesses to question and evidence to preserve. I should probably talk to Patrolman Velm first. Okay, let's... This poor body just laying here. Let's get to work, Velm. What do we... Only that the motor vehicle broke through the barrier at immense speed. And since the bridge was yet to be finished, the car plummeted. It did. Look at that car. The body. I assume that the body is the driver? Correct. The man was trapped behind the wheel and had to be pulled out by force. Cause of death. How did the man die? The doctor says he drowned. He apparently did not try to free himself. Identity. Do we already know who the dead man is? He had his documents on him. His name was Edward Olich, and he... Good. I will inform the family. Witnesses. Did anyone see the accident? The construction worker over there watched everything from his scaffolding. Cause of the accident. Do we already have a suspicion as to how the brake band broke, and so the driver had no way of stopping the motor vehicle? I've instructed the patrolman to not touch anything, so that you can see for yourself. Good thinking, Velm. End. That's it for now. At your service, Mr. Inspector. Okay. Now we can investigate. Let's take a look at the car, first of all. The motor vehicle is done for. You don't say. It seems to have entered the river at great speed. The patrolmen are trying to pull it out of the river from the other side. I can't reach it. Did he really try to, like... Oh no, I can't reach that toolbox all the way up there. Is that a toolbox? Is that what that is? I hope your detective notebook recaps us. The driver drowned. That's what we've gathered. That was the recap. In case you didn't know, the driver drowned. Here... The motor vehicle must have been going quite fast, so much so it split the construction site barrier in two. Just a little peek. The man seems to have drowned. He also has a pretty nasty head wound. Okay. Head wound, drowned. I don't think it works like that. We couldn't just, like, deduce what happened based off of our two clues. What's over here? Next to the construction site is a large pile of sand. I wonder what it's used for. Sand? There's a suspicious rope over here. The brake band of a motor vehicle, the ends look smoothly cut through. So this was no accident. I can tell you that. I'm not sure what else you could want to know. Oh, just that he drowned. I don't think we need to know anything else. Now I know what the prosecutor meant. Something doesn't seem to be right here. Somebody cut that, for sure. As tempting as the toolbox is, I'd need a good reason before rummaging through it. I hate when detectives need a good reason to commit crimes. And you are? Hungry. I want my sandwiches, but these policemen won't let me back on the scaffolding. Mood. Can I still ask you a few questions at least? When I'm hungry, my head works slowly. Same. Just to be sure, that means no, correct? Right. So I'd have to satisfy your hunger first before you'll consider talking to me? Exactly. Okay. Need some Nancy energy. He is no Nancy Drew. I need reason. We need cause. It is because I want it. The tracks of the motor vehicle lead straight towards the bridge. Okay, so we have these. I think I've looked... Oh, wait. Looks like the new bridge is still not finished. You don't say. Inspector Cruiser, help. Please help. I'm afraid I'm stuck and don't know what to do. Take a good look around. There's still something to do here. Hotspots? I think I need your keen eye. Might I suggest having a closer look around here? I like that his magical power is just, here's the hotspots. May and Endlich. Mail order company and royal purveyor of the to the court, sorry. And then this chimney. Exhaust fumes, an unmistakable sign of progress and prosperity. Beaster, how are ya? 34 months of being sexy. Good morning from Singapore. Good morning to you. Progress and exhaust fumes, I mean, prosperity won't be for a long time. Okay, wait. I think I've looked at everything here. Should I leave and go get that guy a snack? Is there another game that uses this music? It's so familiar. Oh, I don't know. They're just like mystery vibes. Okay, do I... Ah, okay, I can go over here now. Let's go get that man a sandwich. I think his sandwiches are up on the scaffolding. I think that might be his lunchbox. I thought it was a toolbox at first. I need to find a way to get up there. Oh. So here we are, the mansion of the deceased. And there we have the wife, who is now an unsuspecting widow. Aw. I should probably deliver her the terrible news before I interrogate the servant as well. A good plan. I wish you much strength. Let me go break the news to her that she's a widow, and then I'm going to interrogate the hell out of them. Excuse us for intruding into your home, but it is most essential. I am Inspector Kreiser from the Leipzig... Are you Edward Olick's wife? That's correct. I'm Emma Olick. Please tell me what it is you want from me. I regret to inform you that your husband had an accident with his motor vehicle. He had an accident? How dreadful. Is he all right? Unfortunately, he died at the scene of the accident. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I have to ask you a few more questions. I will try to help you where I can. That poor woman! Oh no! I have good news and I have bad news. Damn, son. Do you have any spare sandwiches? Actually, that's my first question. Would you, I know your husband just died, but would you make me a sandwich? Alright, let's talk about your husband. Late husband, excuse me, Edward. May I ask you a few questions about your husband? Oh, sorry. I clicked. Good driver. Your husband drove an automobile. That is still a very unusual means of transport. He was completely infatuated with that toy. I always told him that it would be the death of him. It's not easy to always be right, you know. We have yet to see what the exact cause of his death was. That is why I am here. Was he a good driver? Sure he was. He drove that thing almost every day. Even when I took the horse carriage, he would follow behind in that ridiculous thing, because I wouldn't allow him to drive in front of me and pollute the air with those exhaust fumes. So you think an accident is out of the question? What are you saying? What else could it have been if not an accident? That car was a real death trap. Enemies? Did your husband have any enemies? There were certainly more than a few who were envious of what he had achieved in life, but enemies? No, I wouldn't go that far. And remind me, did you just declare that it was an accident? Didn't you just say it was an accident? Determining that is my job, and I like to be thorough. Health. Did Mr. Olick have any health issues? No, he was always well. He was in the prime of life and had more energy than many a youngster. Too much energy for my taste, if you catch my drift. I'm trying very hard not to. She doesn't seem to be mourning this husband of hers. I'll come back to that later. All in your own time, Mr. Inspector. gardening. Let's chat about that. Hey girlie, your husband's dead. Can I have some snacks,
I
pretty
guess
please?
I've got a new daddy.
A new daddy. You take care of your garden yourself, no gardener? Indeed I do. It is a pleasure for me to see the work of my hands grow and flourish. We did have a gardener ages ago, but after I had to explain his work to him 3 times, he quit. And since then, I have been taking care of my little domain. Okay, I don't have, Wait, can I talk about... Oh, the brake band of the motor vehicle has striking cut edges. And what have I got to do with that? I don't even know what you were talking about. What a defensive answer. I was just saying that the brake band was cut. And maybe that would help us figure out what happened to your husband, but... She's my top suspect. You and me both. Cause why is she not upset? She's taking this very well. It's almost like this is convenient for her. The driver suffered a head wound. The driver suffered a head wound when his car fell into the water. How terrible! Is it terrible? Are you distraught? The driver drowned. Your husband drowned. It's possible, however, that he may not have been conscious when he did. Drowned? Such a horrible death. Let's hope he didn't suffer. It's also me giving them that voice, I'm sorry. I should make her more sincere. Okay. That's all I got. Take a moment to collect your thoughts. I may have more questions later. Thank you very much, but it's quite alright. Is it quite alright? This was a loveless marriage. That's a fake tear. Did you see that one tear come out of her eye? Look at that. The tear was a paid actor. In one corner of the garden stands a small bush that is bearing blackberries. Okay. Better not touch the berries. Those are deadly nightshades. They are highly toxic and can lead to hallucinations, paralysis, and even death. Looks like some of the fruit has already been picked. Interesting. It took her the whole conversation to conjure it, that one tear. Someone must have picked them from that bush up there. Sorry, what did you say? What did you say? Who collects deadly nightshade? Who does? Sorry, there are some berries in a small bowl. That's what he's talking about. Someone must have picked them from the bush up there. Okay, so there's a bush of nightshade, and then just a bowl of it sitting over here. Coincidence? Poisoned him, calling it now. The Olex residence is one of the most impressive mansions in Leipzig. I mean, it is a really nice house. And Edward is very successful to have this new found technology of an automobile, you know? I mean, it led to his untimely death, but... Some nice plants cover the outer wall of the garage. Sorry, I'm gonna talk to this saucy fella in just a second, but let's look over here. A few tools are hung neatly on the wall. One tool seems to be missing. The traces of a wagon are visible on the ground. However, the tracks of the horses and the wagon itself are nowhere to be found. The garage is pitch black. Maybe there will be something interesting to discover here. Maybe. This goes to show you should never leave the station without your lamp. Ugh, how silly of me. Don't we have a lamp? Hold on. Lamp. Don't leave your office without a lamp, guys. It's dangerous out there. Much better. Let's have a look then. Aha! What do we have here? A pair of scissors? The blades look quite battered. skizzers. I wonder if that tool could be used to slice a brake line. I've been to Leipzig once. Did not look that nice. Granted, it was 2004, not 1899. Maybe it's gone downhill since 1899. Okay. Well, I think I looked at everything. Can I talk to this fella? Now she's too obvious. Good day, my name's Joseph Kreiser. May I ask you what your connection to Edward Olick is? You may, but do I have to answer? I imagine you must. I'm a police inspector and here on a serious matter. Well, in that case, I'm Max Topfer, Edward Olick's mechanic. I regret to inform you that Mr. Olick is dead. Oh, what happened? There was an accident with the motor vehicle he was driving. That is most unfortunate, but tell me, is the car all right? I will pretend I didn't hear you hear your impertinence just this once. If you must. Okay, sorry. He's like, okay, cool, he died, but the car? More importantly, is that okay? Edward, I have questions about your employer. Well, fire away. On the morning of the incident, have you seen Edward Olick this morning? I heard him before I saw him. I guess the whole neighborhood did. What do you mean by that exactly? The Olicks had a particularly loud argument this morning. Did you hear what it was about? Oh no, the tea. I couldn't help hearing, but I don't want to cast stones. You're better off talking to Mrs. Olick. I will do just that. In any case, Mr. Olick was so riled up that he was talking crazy. I had a lot of trouble concentrating on my work. Tea. Employer. What was Edward Olick like as an employer? What is it they say you shouldn't speak ill of the dead? That I'd better say nothing. But one should always tell the police the truth. Well, if that's what you want, he was a cheapskate and an exploiter. Really just threw that speak ill of the dead right out the window. The Olicks' marriage. How would you describe the marriage of the Olicks? I wouldn't at all, if you don't mind. I'm still in the Olicks' service. You could help solve a crime. Very well then, the marriage was not very harmonious. The two quarreled more often than they reconciled. What would they quarrel about? For that, you'd have to ask Mrs. Olick, sorry. I really do like that it takes no convincing for him to just get rid of his values. We really just said pretty please. He's like, alright, fine. They have a horrible marriage. Automobile. Let's talk about the automobile. But of course, that is the one thing I love to go on and on about. Danger. Did the vehicle pose any danger? No more than a horse and cart would. Don't believe everything you read in the papers. The future lies in the motor vehicle. Count on it. At the moment, however, they are still rather awkward and unsafe, aren't they? There are always little setbacks at the beginning. Just think back to the first locomotives. It was argued that they were harmful to humans and will certainly not prevail. And now there is hardly a village without a train station, I'll give you that. And at some point, everyone will come to own a motorized vehicle, believe me. What was the car? Was the car in good working condition? Are you trying to insult me and insinuate something? That car was always in good shape. There was never a screw that wobbled or a wheel that squeaked. I simply wouldn't have allowed it. Okay. If you say so. Topper killed him to steal his car. Romantically. Maybe. I mean, there's that motive. To get the car. Those fiendish automobiles will be the end to us all. Maybe. They're dangerous. Edward Olick as a driver. How would you rate Edward Olick as a driver? One of the best in Leipzig. He could drive from here to Taco without even killing the engine once. Okay. Let's talk about something else. The argument? The Olicks' marriage couldn't be further from a happy one. But that's what I told you. He's like, I know, I just told you that. Edward Olick was so agitated morning that he spoke incoherently. According to Max Hoffer, Edward, according to you, was so enraged on the morning that he was talking crazy. I'm standing in front of you, you know. There's a bowl of belladonna berries in the garden. There's a bowl of poisonous deadly nightshade in the garden. I don't know anything about plants, though I hear that you can extract oils from some of them. How amusing! What fun. The brake band is broken. The brake band of the motor vehicle has striking cut edges. I wouldn't know anything about that. The mechanic knows nothing about it? The driver suffered a head wound. The driver suffered a head wound when his car fell into the water. I wouldn't know anything about that. I know that already. Oh, okay. Well, that's all I got for you, sir. I have no further questions at the moment. As you wish, Chief. Okay, let's talk about how your marriage was falling apart, Missy Ma'am. Let's ask a few more questions. I will try to help where I can. Has Max Topfer worked for you for a long time? Yes, indeed. Now he'll have to look for a new job, it seems. Poor man. He only took care of the motor vehicle, and without that, there's nothing for him to do here. My husband reprimanded him quite a bit, and even withheld some of his wages at the end, I believe. But I actually was quite fond of him, even if he only had the motor vehicle in mind. There was a fight between them. What about? It was about a scratch on the car, the repair of which was to be paid for out of Max's wages. But you'd best ask the man himself. I just talked to him, but okay. I talked to you about this. Let's see. That bowl of berries. Did you collect the berries from the bush behind you? Yes, what of it? Don't you know that they are highly toxic? Is that so? I had no idea. Well, now you know. Better toss them before a disaster should happen. Another one, I mean. Besides your husband being dead. According to Max Topfer, Edward Olick was so enraged on the morning that he was talking crazy. I don't know anything about that. Are you sure you had a whole fight? You had an argument with your husband this morning? How did you figure? I get it. I suppose Max couldn't keep his big mouth shut again. It is true that the last words I exchanged with my husband were spoken in anger. What was the argument about? What it always was about. My husband unfortunately never took his marriage vows very seriously. Meaning? My God, do I have to spell it out? He was one unfaithful bastard. Although, I probably shouldn't be saying that now since he's gone. Uh-oh. Okay. So maybe that's why she's not upset about him being dead. Oh. I just gathered a whole pile of deadly berries. That's her. Max is all loose lips. Max just spilled all the tea. Let's talk about... Well, I guess I have to talk to Max about the withheld wages. Allegedly accidentally collected the berries. Edward had several mistresses. Just arrest everyone on screen. Just round up everyone, let's go. Edward Olick was not faithful to his wife, and she knew this too. Do you have to rub it in so much? Sorry, I didn't mean to say that to your face. Take a moment to collect your thoughts. I may have more questions later. Thank you very much, but it's quite all right. Okay. Hey, so you had this whole argument. Let's go to the notebook. I heard that there was a dispute between you and your employer recently. Oh, so Mrs. Olick is trying to discredit me now. Well, I should have seen that coming. Mr. Olick claimed that I had damaged his motor vehicle, when it was him who caused the damage while returning from one of his nightly trips. And why did this lead to such a heated argument? Because he wanted to dock my pay for the damage. That was the last straw, and I handed in my notice. Emma Oleg claims that she knew nothing about the poisonous effect of deadly nightshade. I wouldn't know anything about that. Yeah, I didn't know where I was going with that. Edward Oleg was not faithful to his wife, and she knew this too. I don't know anything about that. Max Topher has quit his job as a mechanic. I'm standing in front of you. Yeah, alright. Let's talk to Mrs. Oleg about him quitting, maybe? Girl takes great pride in her gardening, doesn't know the plants there. Suspicious. Let's see, one more thing. Max Topfer has quit his job as a mechanic. I don't know anything about that. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm done here. Thank you both for being unhelpful. You just spilled all the tea. But that doesn't answer any questions. That sandwich guy is probably passed out by now. He's so hungry, and we just left him to starve. I apologize. Let's go find him a sandwich. Inspector Chrysler. Oh, this is just help. Okay, never mind. I don't need help. I don't want a hint. Leave me be. Okay. I have scissors and the... Can I, like, put them together? The blades of the scissors and the edges of the brake band are very similar. Was it tampered with? Okay, so if we put together... Can I put together this and this? A thought! The brake band either tore by itself or someone tampered with it. Oh, what is that? Logic! Oh no, what is that? It's logic! Okay. Combine entries from the notebook to draw logical conclusions. To do this, simply click on the options to select one. This unlocks new conclusions, but be careful, first impressions are often deceptive. Take your time. You can also always change your mind. Okay. Torn brake band. The edges of the brake band match Max Topfer's scissors. He cut the brake band to provoke an accident. Or, the cut edges don't mean anything. The tear in the brake band was an accident. No. I mean, I don't know if Max did it, but those scissors were definitely part of the plan. Like Poirot's Gray Cells or Sherlock's Mind Palace. Very similar. Where it's like you gotta pick one and then it's gonna branch off into things. Where's the third option? I don't like either one of these options. I do think that it was an intentional cut, though. Cut brake band. Okay. We have a head wound. Anything else we can put together? Mistresses. Quit his job. I mean, can we put those two together? A thought! Ugh. Was the quarrel between Max Topfer and Edward Oleg severe enough to serve as a motive for murder? Was it? I don't know. I feel like Max just quit. I don't think he cares that much. Max's motive. Max Topfer had a dispute with Edward Oleg about his wage deductions. He was left to pay for damages to the motor vehicle out of his own pocket. It's possible this infuriated him so much that he decided to terminate not only his contract, but also his employer. That's such clever writing. Not only terminate the contract, but also the man himself. Acts like the car too much to wreck it on purpose. I think so. Like, I think it's the wife. Like, who's to say she didn't pick up the scissors and cut the thing? The wife wouldn't care if she cut it. That's what I'm thinking. Ugh. Okay. Oleg was so agitated this morning. He spoke incoherently. And then they had an argument. Okay, those two don't go together. Maybe the berries? Brain blast. Did Emma Olick know about the harmfulness of deadly nightshade or not? I think she knew. That woman is guilty. Emma Olick knew exactly of the dangers the nightshade posed, or Emma Olick picked the nightshade but was not aware of the danger. He spoke incoherently because he was poisoned. I think he was poisoned, hallucinated, and that's how he drove so badly and drowned. Because they both said he was a good driver. And then she cut the brakes to blame the guy. I think so. No way she didn't know, right? If she took care of the garden and she fired the other gardener because she kept having to, like, correct the gardener before. The Olicks last had a very bitter argument. Maybe the mistresses and their argument, those go together. How jealous was Emma Olick really? Enough to commit murder? I mean, yeah. Seems like it. Edward Olick's wife knew of his constant womanizing. After all, it repeatedly led to arguments in their marriage. It's possible it became too much for Emma Olick and she finally put an end to the stories. Okay. So that's all we got. Crossed off everything on the list. Can I go anywhere else? Station. Let's get that poor man a sandwich. She is schuldig? Does that means guilty? Is that how you're supposed to say it? Schuldig. Guilty. I just feel like it's too sus. I'll only borrow the hammer for a short while if that's okay. I don't care. It's not like I can eat the hammer anyway. Yeah, I have a hammer. Can I hammer down the bridge and get your sandwich down for you? I hit the wooden frame hard with the hammer. That light little tap. I'm really connecting with this man's hunger level. When I'm hangry, that's me. I pick up the lunchbox. Oh, yay. All right, let's get this man fed. Here you go. I retrieved this for you. Here are your sandwiches. Well, what do you know? The police are good for something after all. Ask your questions if you have to. Finally. What's your name? My name is August Bauman. I am the foreman here on the construction site. I hope I can get back to work soon. The bridge has to be finished after all. Show a little respect. A man has died. It's their own fault if you ask me. Anyone who uses a motorized vehicle must surely be tired of living. But I didn't ask you. You saw the accident? I'd say. I was at the top of the scaffolding when this maniac came racing down the road. When did you notice the automobile? The minute he turned onto the road. He was going much too fast and swerving from side to side. And headed straight for the construction site? Exactly. I thought to myself, why didn't he just step on the brake? But by then, it was already too late and the car had crashed into the river. I was so scared I almost fell off the scaffolding. The bridge still isn't finished, as you can well see, and for the very dim-witted, we have put up barriers too. But that didn't stop this driver from going towards the bridge at full speed anyway. Let's talk about something else. Fine by me. The driver suffered a head wound when his car fell into the water. I don't know anything about that. The vehicle apparently had no functioning brakes. Did the driver do anything else to stop the car? I wondered about that too. The driver could have hit the pile of sand. As a last resort, he could have jumped off, but he drove straight into the river. The driver neither tried to swerve nor to jump off. According to the witness statement, the driver did not try to escape his fate. What more do you want? You only found that out with my help. I like that when you like repeat the information back, they have something fun to say. Cute writing. Okay, that's all I got. So I'll leave you be. I don't have any more questions at the moment. Please be available for further questions. Hurry up so I can get back to my work. This man loves his job. He was already dead by poison by then. I think he was hallucinating and like, I don't know. That's why he didn't stop himself. Okay. I don't know what else we could possibly put together. The question is whether the driver was conscious or not. Was he conscious? Edward Olick could not react in time to avoid the accident. This indicates that he was not conscious during the accident. Or, Edward Olick tried to brake in order to avoid the accident, but it was in vain. This indicates that he was conscious during the accident. I don't think he was. Because even if he did try the brake, he could have done something else. Did we already look at the tire marks? We did. It just says it went straight for the barrier. I'll look at them again. Oh, we have these things connected. Hold on. Let's go look at the marks again. And then I'll come back to that. The tracks of the motor vehicle lead straight towards the bridge. He drove here, didn't stop, ran right through the barrier and into the river. If the brake was cut, how'd he leave tire marks? Oh. Because wouldn't that be if he was trying to hit the brake, that it would leave skid marks? That's right. Okay, so if we have the toxic effect known, Emma has a motive, and the driver being unconscious, we have poison. Murder by poison. Emma Olick had enough of her husband's womanizing. She tried to poison him with nightshade, but the dose was too small. It was only while he was driving his motor car through Plogwitz that the paralysis of the poison set in. That was why he could neither swerve nor jump off before he went into the river. Emma Olick, murderer? I don't know, I feel like this is what we're all logicking out. Do we think Max did anything? Emma just seems way too sus. Emma Olick killed her husband due to having base motives and did so insidiously. She is a murderer who must be brought to justice. We can end it there. I can't imagine it was anything else but her poisoning him. Let's continue the investigation. So say that he was conscious. Say he was aware of what was going on. Then we have sabotage. Max Topfer no longer wanted to put up with being taken advantage of by his employer. He cut the brake band of the motor car to provoke an accident. In Edward Olick's desperate attempts to brake, it did not even occur to him to simply swerve or jump off. And then we can have Max. Max Topfer killed his employer due to having base motives and did so insidiously. He is a murderer who must be brought to justice. There's also the option of having two murderers. Though independent of each other, Emma Olick and Max Topfer both tried to kill Edward Olick, the wife through poison, and the mechanic by sabotage. Now a court must decide on just punishments for them. At any rate, they were guilty. Do we think they both were involved? I don't know. They both had reason. But I just can't imagine Max cutting the brake if he liked the car so much. Like, what's saying that... don't know. Did Emma cut? This is insinuating that Emma didn't cut the break. She just poisoned him and that's it. Let's go 2 murderers. What's better than 1 murderer? 2 murderers. And? Because let's say he cut the break, she poisoned him. Combined. Maybe they worked together, maybe they didn't, and it was just... It worked out that way? Let's see. Now I know what we have to do. Are we looking at an arrest? Not just one, this case had some surprising twists and turns. Emma, at least. Emma's guilty, 100%. I'm unsure about Max. And so I had no choice but to bring both Emma Olick and Max Topfer. Bring in both Emma and Max. I assumed she couldn't stand her husband's tireless infidelity anymore and decided to put an end to it once and for all. And as for Max Topfer, he wanted to take revenge on his employer and delivered retribution. Right, and so he cut the brake band and she poisoned her husband with deadly nightshade. This is why Edward Olick was unable to swerve or brake and drowned in the Elster. But who is really to blame for the death? Fortunately, that's not for me to decide, but for the court to have the final say. But you still deserve the utmost respect for having solved this obscure case. The police of Leipzig are truly lucky to have you in their service. Not everyone would have seen the truth here. End of the preview. Oh my gosh, thank you for playing the first case of Casebook 1899, the Leipzig Murders. The full game includes 4 cases to investigate, many more suspects, and a conspiracy to uncover. Please add the game to your wish list so you'll be able to be notified when it's available. Amazing. So I believe this is a little bit more than you get with the demo that's on Steam right now, but this will be out later this year with all 4 cases. I wish that, like, the text wasn't so fast, so I could, like, fully, like, engage with it, but I did like that. And I like that you can pick, you know, one or the other or both. I think Emma is guilty as heck, though.